Now let us see today's as of no, today what we discussed in the last three sessions. We started with introduction to automation testing. What is automation testing and benefits of automation testing and automation testing lifecycle process. So those concepts were discussed in the first session. And the second session we discussed about Selenium introduction and Eclipse setup and core Java introduction. And in the third session, we discussed about core Java. We started discussing core Java programming concepts from third session. So in the last session, we completed data types, different types of data types in Java. Let me again recap once again quickly what we covered in the third session. Yeah, from here, data types. So different types of data types in core Java programming language. Primary data types: byte, short, integer, long, single, double, boolean, and character. And the last one is object data type. It is object data type. And we have seen how to declare variables and constants, and we have seen some sample programs with character type methods and some string methods we have seen, and also we have seen how data will be converted from numeric to string or string to numeric, and sometimes how automatically data will be converted, that is called automatic conversion, and sometimes we need to convert the data explicitly by using typecasting. Typecasting means if automatic data conversion is not possible, then we should use this typecasting method. And for that we have seen some sample program also. And after that we discussed about different types of operators in core Java. See, what is the operator? Operator means it is an it is a action operation. Operator performs a specific operation. Okay, see, in the while writing the program, we used to write multiple expressions. Expression is a combination of operands and operators. Operands means the values on which you are performing some action. Those are called operands. Operator means an operation, which operation you are performing on those values. So that is called operator, right? So any expression is a combination of operators and operands. So here in core Java program, we use different types of operators like arithmetic operators, where we can perform arithmetic operations like sum, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponentiation. Okay, this kind of modulus. So these kind of operations. So to perform these operations in core Java, there are some set of predefined operators. That means symbols. So here we have defined those some important arithmetic operators: plus, minus, asterisk for multiplication, division, slash, backslash for division. So like that. Okay, and after that we discussed about relational operators or assignment operators. Also we discussed assignment operators means these are all assignment operators like equal, arithmetic operators with assignment operators. A combination of arithmetic operator and assignment operator also can be used. So like this is the example for that. And relational operators. Relational operators means less than, greater than, comparison, equal comparison, not equal, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. These are all the operators can be used to compare any two values. Those are relational operators. And after that, we discussed about Boolean or logical operators. Boolean operators means the operators that can be performed only on Boolean values. So those operators are called Boolean operators, like AND. This is AND symbol, AND operator, and this is OR, vertical line, pipeline. It is OR, and this is exclusive OR. Okay, here it is not clearly defined. This is AND, that means it is AND, and this is OR, OR, and this is exclusive OR, exclusive OR. So these are three important Boolean operators. See, AND means, what is a AND? How AND Boolean operator works? If two operand values are true, suppose for example, if you take A and B, see here example also given here. I hope all of you practiced this sample programs which we have shown. I have shown you demo in our last session. Okay, do you have any doubt, guys, in this Boolean operators or in relational operators or in arithmetic operators? Do you have any questions or any doubts while practicing these programs? So you can ask me if you have any doubt while in your practice, if you get any doubts or if you get any issues in your program practicing, we can discuss, and also we can rectify if you are getting any issues. Do you have any questions here? In the last session, Boolean operators, arithmetic operators, and logical operators. Examples. Nagaraju, Raja, do you have anything? No. Okay, fine. Fine, guys. So then let us start with today's concepts. So today we are going to discuss about control statements, jump statements, and arrays. See, in any programming language, see that concepts what we are discussing from last session. So these are all basic programming concepts. Say not only in core Java, whenever you want to learn some programming language, so you should learn all these concepts. So this, without knowing these concepts, you cannot write a program by using any language. So in any programming language, these basic programming concepts you should know. Okay. So now let us see the important concept, control statements. Control statements, jump statements, and arrays. How to work with different types of control statements. Let us see that first. See, control statement means, what is a control statement? Any idea what is the meaning of control statement? Just you can chat, you can ping me if your ideas or anything, or if you can directly speak. What is a control statement means? And do you have any idea what it will do in the program, in the control statement? So what it convey, what it conveys, control statement, what you understand from that line, control statement? Is it if else statement meant Silesh, from Silesh? Yes. If else is one type of control statement. Yeah, you're right. So what I'm trying to write here asking is, what is the meaning of control statement? what is the purpose of control statement in the program? See, if I write a equal to a plus b, what type of statement it is? If I write a equal to a plus b statement in my program, what type of statement it is? It is an expression. Okay, a equal to a plus b is an expression. So what type of expression? It is arithmetic expression. Is it right? So it is just it performs some arithmetic operation. So this step. Okay, just one second. Let me launch my Eclipse. Yeah. So a equal to a plus b. It is an arithmetic operation. It is arithmetic statement, or it is an arithmetic expression. So it is not. Is it a control statement? A equal to a plus b. Is it a control statement? So no, it is not a control statement. Why it is not a control statement? So what control statement will do? It controls the execution flow. So any statement which controls the execution flow of the program. That means, suppose you have 10 statements. The fifth statement is a control statement. That means this statement may control your next step execution. That means, so it may execute immediate step, or sometimes it will transfer the execution control directly to the 15th statement. After 10th statement, if that 10th statement is a control statement, got it? So it may change the path of the execution flow. So any statement which controls that program execution flow is a control statement. Got it? So generally, how program will be executed? Suppose if there is a program with 10 lines of code, when you start the program execution, it will start execution of that program from step 1, next to step 2, next to step 3, step 4, step 5, like that. That means it executes all the steps in the sequential manner. So that's how any program will be executed by default. Correct? Suppose if you want to change your execution flow, not simply sequential or not simply in linear manner, I want to change my execution flow from 10th step to 15th step directly based on some specific condition, or sometimes I want to run from step 11 to step 15 three times, or I want to run from step 11 to step 15 repeatedly. I want to execute these steps until some condition is satisfied. So like this, that means by default every program will be executed in the sequential manner, step by step, but I want to change that execution flow, not just simply sequential. You can change that program execution flow by using control statements in the program. Got it? So there are two types of control statements. So what control statements will do? Control statements. What it will do? It controls execution flow. Execution flow. So there are two types of control statements are there. What is the first one? Conditional statements or decision making statements. Conditional or decision statements. And the second one is loop statements or loops or iteration statements, loop statements. loops. Okay, these are the two types of control statements we have. Generally, in any programming language, you can find these two types of control statements: conditional statements and loops. So let us see first one, conditional statements or decision statements. So there are different conditional statements are available, not many. There are basically two conditional statements are available in core Java. In Java programming, there are two conditional statements are available. We can use two conditional statements. The first one is if, and the second one switch statement. If condition, and the second one switch statement. So these are the two types of conditional statements we can use in Java program. Now let us see first one, if condition, how to use if condition, and with some sample programs. Let us see what is the use of if condition. What is the use of this? To check the condition, to check some condition, to check some condition. If you want to verify some condition and then proceed execution. Suppose if that condition is failed, I don't want to run one group of steps in the program. I have a program with some set of code, and in that lines of code, I want to execute some 5 lines of code. Only one specific condition is passed. Whenever that condition is passed, only then I want to execute 5 steps in the program. That means one block, or I can say group of steps. So group of steps is nothing but a block. Okay. Now let us say, for example, let us say I have an example. You are passing some input. Suppose I have x variable, x is equal to 10. Now I want to check whether this x value is even number or not. If it is even number, I want to print 10 is even number. So that is simple operation I want to execute in my program. I have one variable x with some value 10. And what I want to do? I want to check that what is the x value? Is it even or odd? If it is even, just print that 10 is even number. That's it. I want to check that whether x is a even number or not. So for that small condition, if you want to verify how we can define a condition, how you can execute a condition by using if statement. So let us see first what is the syntax of if statement in Java. So for every control statement, syntax is very important. We should follow that syntax. Whenever you want to use any control statement, you should know that particular control statement syntax. What is the syntax of that particular control statement, and that syntax should be followed. Otherwise, it will throw error in the Java program. So what is the if condition? How to define if condition, and what is the syntax of that? See, if space. So actually I should be small letter, not capital letter. It should be small. If space and open bracket and close bracket. So braces are important. Braces are mandatory in the if condition. If, and within this braces, you should define a condition. What condition you want to verify? Whatever the condition you want to verify, that condition should be defined inside the braces. Got it? After that, once this condition, if this condition is passed, then you want to execute some set of steps. Is that right? So those steps should be defined inside this flower brackets. Here you have to define the steps that should be executed. So this is the syntax of if condition. If condition. So inside this braces, you can define one or more than one condition can be verified in the if condition. How we can define more than one condition? By using logical operators. That means I can define like this also. It is one format, okay? So it is one syntax. See another by using with multiple conditions. How to define? See condition 1 and condition 2. So what is this operator? It is a where we have discussed in our last session logical operators, correct? Boolean operators and or exclusive or, these are all Boolean or logical operators. Okay. So by using these logical operators or Boolean operators, we can connect multiple conditions. See how we are defining that. See that condition 1 and means and condition 2. Suppose if this condition 1 is passed, then this condition value is true. If this condition 2 also passed, then this condition 2 is true. So then both the values are true. That means this overall condition will be true. Got it? True means that condition is passed. Suppose if condition 1 is passed and condition 2 is failed, then what is the status of this if condition? If condition 1 is true, that means if condition 1 is passed and condition 2 is failed. So in this scenario, what is the status of if condition? Fail. Because here we are using and, is it right? And when and operator will be true, both the values should be true. Only then this and operator will be true. Got it? Suppose if I use here or, now if condition 1 is pass and condition 2 is failed, then what is the status of if condition? Pass. So what is the meaning of or? Either condition 1 or condition 2 should be passed. Then if condition is passed. If I use and operator here, then condition 1 and condition 2 both should be passed. Only then if condition is passed. Got it? So like this, you can combine multiple conditions inside this if statement. It is possible. Got it, guys? So this is a simple if condition statement. It is simple if statement. So I can say this if condition type is simple if statement. So now let us see that one example for this by using simple if condition. Guys, all of you right have Eclipse now ready in your system, right? Nagaraju, Sailesh, I think so. You have Nagaraju, do you have? Raja, you have Eclipse ready now? Yeah, good. Okay, why? Because right, I want you guys right do immediately this practice small programs at least, right? Simple programs. So now all of you please create a new class in your project. Inside your project, let us create a new project, new class. Go to new, create. Please follow me. I will explain you. I will be keep explaining you. Please follow me. Please do practice in your systems. You no need to watch this video. Just do whatever I'm explaining. Open your Eclipse. Go to your project and go to your package inside SRC. Right click. Go to class. Select new class. Create a new class and define the class name as conditions. Okay. and select here public static void main checkbox because I want to add main method automatically to this class conditions. So I am selecting here checkbox public static void. Now finish. So here conditions Java file created, inside that conditions class is created, and inside that class you can see main method is already defined. Automatically main method is defined here. So now let me write here if statement. What type of if it is? Simple if statement. Example. Now let me define simple example integer. I am declaring variable integer x is equal to 10. I have declared just declare a variable x inside main method integer x is equal to 10 semicolon. And now I want to check that. What I want to check? Print even if x is even number. X is even number. That is what I want to do. I want to print this value. I want to print this text even if x is even number. So how we can check that? By using if condition. So how to write that? If space braces. So inside that braces, see, to check whether x is equal to even number or not, what to do? We have to divide that x value, x number by 2, correct? We have to divide that x number by 2. So how, and I want to check that what is the remainder after dividing x value by 2, what is the remainder? So how we can check that? What is the remainder value? Do you have any idea? What is the operator to get a remainder after division? Do you know what is the operator? Sailesh, Nagaraju or Raja, do you know what is the operator to get a remainder value after division? Mod, yeah, modulus. That is called modulus. What is the operator? What is the symbol for modulus operator? Modulus means, Nagaraju, see what is the modulus means? Division means, suppose if I write here, see, if I do this one, see, I am declaring one more variable, integer y. I declare one more variable y is equal to x division 2. What is this slash symbol? It is a division symbol, correct? It is a division operator. So what is the value of y? Now let us see what is the value of y. Print that, print it, system dot out dot print line. So what is the value of y here? It is a 5, correct? What is that 5? It is a quotient. So it returns 5. Let us see, print that y value. Okay, I will remove this if statement time being. So this y value should be 5. Let us see this, execute this, save it and run. See that what is the value printed? 5 is printed. text editors. Colors and fonts. Just I want to increase that font size. Okay. So is it visible now clearly? Yeah. So now it is printing here y value 5. But to verify whether x is an even number or not, what value, how you can verify that? We have to divide this x by 2, and we should have to verify the remainder of after the division. We have to verify the remainder value, not the quotient value. Is it right? So this y value, it won't help us to find that whether x is an even number or not. So we should get the remainder value after division with 2. Is it right? So to get that remainder value, we should use this operand percentage. Now let us see what is the value of y. See that it returns 0. So what is the y value now? What is the value returned to y? The remainder value is returned by this operator. So the percentage is the operator for modulus operation. In Java programming, percentage is the modulus operator. Modulus means it returns the remainder value after division. So if you are using normal division symbol, that means a slash symbol, it returns the quotient value after division. Okay, so there is a difference. So to find that, to check that whether x is a even number or not, you have to get the remainder value after dividing x with the 2. So we are getting that here. We are getting the remainder value, and then so now if you print, if this y value is equal to 0, then x, we can say x is a even number. That means if this y is 0, I want to verify whether this y variable is equal to 0 or not. If y is equal to 0, then the x variable is even. If y value is not 0, then we can say that x is odd number. Is it right? So here I have to define if condition to verify the variable y value. So write here if condition within braces. If y, what is the operator to verify y and 0? I want to compare two values, y variable value with 0. I want to compare. So what is the operator to verify whether both are equal or not? If I want to verify two values, both are equal or not, what is the operator? Yeah, double equal. See that we discussed here. See here, maybe in our, see I shared you guys what is that session 3 document, right? So you could find session 3 document here itself. Here also you can find all those operators, arithmetic operators. See here, comparison operators, that is not defined here. Yeah, here it is there. Okay, if you want to compare two any values, any two values, then we should use two equal symbols. It is equal comparison operator, equal comparison operator. So we should define here if y double equal 0. If y equal to 0, Then what I want to print? I want to print x is even. X is even number. X is even number. So this is the value I want to print. See here, I am not defining braces, curling braces. See, in our syntax, we defined, I have told you that we should define curly braces, and within that curly braces we should define the steps whatever you want to execute if this condition is passed. But in this statement I have not defined any curly braces. So now this statement will be executed or not? It will be executed. Why it will be executed? See, if you suppose if you want to execute only a single statement inside if condition, then you can ignore the braces. Suppose if you want to execute more than one statement inside if condition, in this case curly braces are mandatory. Understand? So there is nothing wrong by adding this curly braces. You can add here curly braces. It is perfect. Okay. Suppose if you want to execute a single statement, only single statement if you want to execute inside if condition, in that case you can ignore this curly braces. Okay, it is not a problem. It won't throw any error. Say that it will execute this program successfully without any issues. X is even number printed. Suppose if x is equal to 11, if I change x value to 11, now this statement should not be printed. Is it right? See, now let me run this. See that is it printing or not? See that this statement is not executed. Why this statement not executed? Since this condition is failed. So what is the y value now we are getting? When x is equal to 11, what is the y value? Y value is 1, not 0. So since y value is 1, this condition fails. Correct, y is not equal to 0. But what is the condition we defined? If y is equal to 0, that is the condition we defined. But currently y value is 1, not 0. So this condition fails. So whenever this condition fails, this if condition statement will not be executed. Clear now? Okay, suppose if you want to print this y value also, that means the remainder value also I want to print. So in that case, I want to execute two statements inside if condition. Okay, so now I'm adding one more statement. See, a reminder. I want to print reminder value. Reminder is plus. So plus, you know, right? What is a plus operator? It is a concatenation operator. You can combine two strings by using this operator. Okay, plus operator, string concatenation operator. So here I want to print y value, the reminder value. Okay, now if I run this program, what will happen now? Now see this. If I run this, see, reminder is executed. This statement is executed, but not this statement. But not this statement. Why it is not printing this statement? Because here this condition is fails here. Now condition failing, correct? The condition is failing now. Since x is equal to 11, so what is the y value? 1. Y is 1. Since this condition is failed, so the if condition, inside if condition, it is executing only one statement inside this if condition. That means the Java compiler or Java interpreter understands that. That means during the program execution, it understands that only this statement should be executed inside this if condition. Why it understands like that? Because we have not defined here braces. beginning and end braces, if condition beginning and if condition end, curly braces are not defined. So if you don't define the braces, then what it assumes? It assumes that you are executing only a single statement inside if condition. That means only this statement it considers inside if condition, and this statement will be considered as outside of if condition. That means this statement is not at all inside this if condition. That is how the Java interpreter understands this program, and that's why since this statement, the last statement is not inside if condition, so this statement will be always executed with irrespective of the condition pass or fail. Understand, this statement will be executed only if this condition is passed. If this condition is failed, this statement will not be executed. But this statement will be executed always with irrespective of this condition status, whether it is pass or fail, since this statement is not inside the if condition, because we have not defined a curly braces. Suppose if I want to define, if I want to execute these two statements inside if condition, then we should define a curly braces here. Now these two statements will be executed only if this condition is passed. If this condition fails, then these two statements will not be executed. Okay, now let me rerun again. See, nothing is printed. Suppose if this value is 10, now it will print both the statements. See, both are printed. X is even and its remainder is 0. So that's why X is even. Got it, guys? So this is a simple if statement. How to verify one or multiple conditions in one statement. In single if statement, we can verify one or more than one condition. Understand, guys? See, now I want to check that two conditions. Suppose I want to define one more condition here inside this if statement. What is my second condition is, suppose I want to check that whether this X is even number which is less than 100. Print even number if X is even and less than 100. Less than 100. That is my second condition. If X value is even number and it should be less than 100, only then I want to print that X value. Otherwise, I don't want print it. So I want to now verify two conditions using if statement. What are those two conditions? First condition is X is even, whether X variable value is even number or not. That is my first condition. How we can check that condition? Here we are dividing that X value with 2 and then we are getting the remainder into Y variable. Then we are checking here the remainder value is equal to 0 or not. So this is the condition to verify X is equal to even number. And what is second condition? The X value should be less than 100. So that is my second condition. So I have to define here, see here, these two conditions should be satisfied because here I am using the and. The X should be even and X should be less than 100. So which operator we should use here? Ampersand, and we should be used. What is the second condition? Y less than 100. It is my second condition. So like this, you can define more than one condition in the if statement. Okay, now this X is less than 100, no problem. Suppose if it is 100, if X is equal to 100, not 10. If X value is equal to 100, now what will happen? This condition will be passed because Y value is 0. The remainder after dividing X 100 by 2, you will be getting the remainder 0. So this Y value equal to 0. So this first condition is passed. Okay, but why this condition fails? Correct. since y is equal to x is equal to 100, sorry, not y, I have to verify x value, not y value. The x value should be less than 100, but what is the x value? It is equal to 100, it is not less than 100. So my second condition failed here. So the overall if statement will be failed because I'm using here AND operator. So the overall if condition will be failed. So nothing will be printed now if you run this program. So nothing is printed. Suppose if I am using here R, okay, now let me copy this. Yes, let me give all variants. What is our first variant? With a single condition, okay? It is our single condition. Single condition. It is working fine. Now I will comment it, okay? I commented. So now here we are defining two conditions in the if statement. Now let me two conditions by using AND operator. Now let me define one more. With OR operator, with vertical OR operator. So now what will happen? X is equal to 100. So what is the y value? 0. Correct? So the first condition is passed. And what is the second condition? X less than 100 is the second condition, but X value is 100. So the second condition fails. So now what is the if condition status? What is the if statement status? It is pass. Why it is pass? Since we are using here OR operator. How OR operator works? Either this condition or this condition should be passed. Then that entire if condition should be passed. If either first condition or second condition passed, any one condition, if it is passed, that is enough. So the overall if condition will be passed. Suppose if both conditions are failed, only in that case, this if condition will be failed. Is it right? See, that's how, guys, if you have any doubt, right? See, let me give you how this AND OR and exclusive OR operators works, because it is very important. While combining multiple if conditions, we use these operators AND OR exclusive OR sometimes. Okay, so let me give you a brief. See, for example, if I have A is equal to true, that is my value, and if I have B is equal to for example, it is also true. Now what is the value of A and B? See, I'm giving here. What is the value of A and B? True. Or I will put you one table, guys, for you to make it easy. See this like this. I have A, okay, and the B. It's better to put it in the document itself. Yeah. See here. More than one condition can be combined, okay? By using logical operators. So now how logical operators works, see that here I'm giving that logical operators works. So now let me take a table. I'm going to insert here one table. A, B, A and B, or B, A exclusive B. Okay, yeah. See here I'm going to give A, B. It is A and B. It is A or B. And it is A exclusive or B. These three are important, okay? A exclusive or B. Now let us see. If A is true and B is true, then what is the A and B? It is true, correct? Yeah. Okay. Now what is the A or B value? Since both are true, it is automatically true. And what is the A exclusive or B? when exclusive or B, okay, let me fill this table and then I will explain you guys. Okay, it is false. Now if it is true and if it is false, this is false and it is true and it is true. Now if it is false and if it is true, it is a false, true, true. Okay, and if it is false and it is also false, then it is false, false, false. Exclusive. Now say that when A and B is passed, if both are true, only then A and B is true. Okay, and when A or B is false, in only one scenario, A or B is is false. When it is, if both are false, then only A or B is false. And A and B is true in only one scenario. When it is, if both A and B are true, only then A and B is true. In all other cases, false. A or B is opposite to A and B. A or B is false in only one scenario when both are false. In all other cases, A or B is true. Now come to A exclusive or B when it is true and when it is false. The simple point you have to keep remind about this A exclusive or B is if both values are same. See, A is equal to true, B is equal to true, both are same, so then it is false. If both values are not same, then it is true. That is exclusive. Exclusive means both should not be same. That is meaning of that. Okay, both values should not be same. So if both values are not same, so it is true. True. Again here both values are false, false. Both are same. So again it is false. Understand guys how these logical operators work and how we use these logical operators to combine multiple conditions in the if statement. Nagarajo, are you clear? You have any doubts? Okay. Okay. Since here now see that if I use here R, in this scenario what is happening? First condition is true, second condition is false, but still the if condition will be true because we are using R. So these two statements will be executed if you run this program. It is executed. Say it is executed. Okay. And now let me show you another logical operator. What is that? See these two. What is the use of these two? Double ampersand and the double vertical line pipeline characters. What is this symbol is called? Double ampersand short circuit and what is this is called? Short circuit or. Really these two are very useful sometimes. Let me show you that when it is very useful. Say for example, I am defining, see here I am defining what I can say to you to show you one example. See here I am checking here x by y, x by y is equal to x. See guys here, see that here, see I am defining something little what is some little complex, not complex, little complex. Okay, see what is this condition. Let me copy this in different, I will copy it again in the next line to show you short circuit and the short circuit or how to use short circuit Now let us see example for short circuit and how to use short circuit. And okay, see, if I execute this statement, here I'm going to define here different condition, x divided by y is equal to x. Have you understanding this condition? What this condition is doing? See this condition. First, I'm getting a reminder. Is it right? Y, what is the y value? It is a reminder. So this reminder, suppose now if it is 11, say I'm giving 11 is my x value. Now what is the y value? 1. Is it right? Y value is 1. 2 by 11. What is the reminder? 1. So this condition fails. Is it right? This condition is failing here, correct? And now x less x divided by y. What is this what this will do? This expression will do. What is the x value? 11. What is the y value now? 1. So 11 by 1. What is 11 by 1? 11. So that is equal to x. Yes, right. It is right. That means this condition is failing here, but this condition is passed. So when I run this program, it will be executed. See that. So it is executed. Correct? Is it right? So here I have to change this condition. It is executed. Is it right? Now suppose if I change this value to 10, if x is equal to 10, what will happen now? See that. Now what is the y value? 10 by 2. 10 modulus 2. That means y value is 0. Is it right? So this condition is passed. This condition is passed. Now after that it will check this condition. What will happen here? X, what is x value? 10. What is the y value? 0. 10 by 0. What is that value? 10 by 0. What is the value of 10 by 0? 10 by 0 is infinity, not 0. It is a infinite value. 10 by 0 is an infinite value. Mission, it won't accept. The Java compiler or interpreter cannot execute this statement x by y. That means 10 by 0 cannot be executed by any programming language. If you divide any number by 0, what will come? Infinite value will come. I understand. So see, let me run this statement. Let us see that what will happen. See that what we are getting? We are getting Java exception. Java exception means Java error. That means there is some error in your program. There is an error in your program. Where you have error, you can see that in which line that error is there. See that the Java line number 24. See that it is highlighting this if statement. When I click that error, it is highlighting this line. That means you have an error in this particular statement. This statement cannot be executed because what is wrong in that statement? There is nothing wrong. Syntactically, there is no wrong statement in this line. Everything is perfect syntactically. Is it right? But logically, there is something mistake. What is that mistake? You are dividing x value with 0. X by y. Whenever y value becomes 0, then what is the value of x by y? The value of x by y is infinite. So that is where which is logically not possible. Okay, that means the system or compiler cannot run this statement because the x by y value is infinite. Understand, guys? So how you can overcome this problem? See, when you are getting this problem, suppose if I change this value to 11, I'm not getting any problem. Is it right? It is running perfectly. See that. Say I am not changing anything in my program. I am using same code in my program. What I am changing? Just I am changing my input data, not the program. Correct. See, this program is running good when x is equal to 11. But when x is equal to 12, for example, if I give 12, what will happen? You will be getting error. See that. That means whenever x is equal to even number, then y value becomes 0. Since here I am using y as a denominator in the expression, in the division expression, x by y, x by y. So whenever y value becomes 0, then its value becomes infinite. So whenever there is an infinite value, it cannot be handled by a system processor. It is an infinite value which cannot be handled. Understand? So that's why the Java compiler or Java program is throwing error. See that. What is that error? Arithmetic expression. There is something arithmetic expression is wrong, which is giving, what is that expression? Division by 0. See, it is clearly mentioning that the error is you are trying to divide some value by 0. So that is where you have wrong, you have a mistake in your program at line number 24. So if you click on this line number 24, it will highlight that line number which is having error. Got it, guys? Now what I can do, if I want to run this program always successfully with irrespective of x value is even number or odd number, even if I pass even number, I want this program should execute successfully without any error. Then what I can do? See that I can use now short circuit OR. In this scenario, this short circuit OR is very useful. Now if I run this, see, with x is equal to 12, if I run this program, see, it is running fine. We are not getting error. But if I remove this short circuit OR, instead of short circuit OR, if I use normal OR, and then if I execute this program, you will be getting error. See, is it right? Got it? Understand, guys? See, this kind of right, what is that, errors you will be getting in the real-time scenario also. You don't expect that. So we should be very careful whenever you are writing any arithmetic expression. We should be very careful. We should not use the 0 at any place in any division statement as a denominator. Okay. So now if I use here short circuit OR, the same program with the same data is running perfectly without error. Say that. How it is possible? What this short circuit is doing? What this short circuit operator is doing? Simple. So whenever you are using short circuit or short circuit AND, what will happen? See, if I use normal OR, what will happen? This condition will be executed. If this condition is pass or failed, whatever the result of this first condition, it will execute second condition. If you are using normal OR, what will happen? It executes first condition. After executing first condition, it executes second condition as well, and then it will combine both the results by using OR operator. Okay, that is how, if you are using normal or normal AND operators are used. Okay, it will execute normal or normal AND operators will be executed like this. Suppose if I define here short circuit OR, how it executes now? First, it executes this first condition. If this first condition result is true, then you can predict the result of this OR operator without running this second condition. It is possible. Understand my point? After running this first condition, once you know the status of the first condition, whether it is true or false. Suppose if this first condition is true, then you can be able to predict the whole condition. That means this if condition status without running second condition. How it is possible? If you look at our table, say that A or B, correct? See, whenever there is a true in the first condition, see, in these two places, it is true, it is true. Then what is the A or B value? False. Sorry, true. See, in the first row, A is equal to true, B also true. In the second row, A is true, B is false. That means if the first condition is true, the second condition value can be true or it can be false. That is not the matter at all. What is the overall A or B value? True. Both are true. Understand, guys? See, if the first condition is true, then you can ignore B. You no need to execute second condition. Directly you can say A or B is true. So what is the A or B? Any one value should be true. Is it right? That is how A or B will be executed. So in this case, first condition is true. That is clear. So you no need to execute second condition, because in these two conditions, one condition is already true. So I no need to execute second condition. I can ignore that. So without running this condition, we can say that this whole condition is true because my first condition itself true. So that is what this short circuit OR is doing. That means it executes first condition. If this first condition is true, then what short circuit OR will do? It will ignore the second condition. It won't execute the second condition. When this short circuit OR will execute second condition, if the first condition is false, only then it will execute the second condition. You got the point, guys? If you are using a normal OR, what is happening? By default, it executes both the conditions. Both conditions will be executed and then OR operator will be executed finally. But if you are using short circuit OR, if this first condition is true, then it ignores second condition. It won't execute second condition at all. So that is why now you are not getting error when you are using this short circuit OR, because this condition is not at all executed. That's why it is not throwing error. But if I remove this, if I use here normal OR, what is happening? It is running two conditions, both the conditions, and we are getting error. That's what's happening. See, error is coming. So if I use here short circuit OR, now the second condition will be ignored. Why it will ignore? Because the first condition itself true. So since it is a short circuit OR, it is not required to execute second condition. So that's why we are not getting error now. See, it is running fine. All of you clear, guess about short circuit operators, how these short circuit operators are very useful inside if conditions, inside if statement, while comparing multiple conditions. These short circuit and or short circuit OR can be very useful. Any questions? You have any doubts? If there is exception, then how to print any message? Yeah, yes, Alice, that we can discuss later. Okay, how to handle exceptions. Yeah, if the first condition is false, yes, it will execute second condition. Then again, you will be getting error message. Nagaraj, understand? If the first condition is false, then definitely it will run the second condition also. In that case, if y is 0, again you will get error. Okay, that means the Java will return exception. Okay, later we will see. Suppose still even after using short circuit or short circuit and, if you are getting exception in this arithmetic expression, how to handle those exceptions, that also we will see later. How to handle errors, if there is any errors, if there is any error is returned by Java at runtime, how to handle that. So that is called error handling or exception handling. That concept we will see later. Okay, little bit later. It is not required at this moment. Let us see that. Let us try to understand how to use control statements, how to use if statement. Yeah, even if the first condition itself infinite or the second condition is infinite, see, this short circuit or and short circuit and will help you only in some scenario, not in all the scenarios. Okay, it cannot do anything if there is an infinite value in the first condition itself. It cannot do anything. Okay, so it will throw exception in that case. Even sometimes the first condition can be failed, and so it will execute second condition. Again, in the second condition you may get infinite value, so again you may get exception. Okay, that is also possible. But this short circuit or and short circuit and will save, can save sometimes by ignoring all other conditions. By running only first condition, sometimes it can predict what is the status of the overall condition, the whole condition is. So in that case, it will ignore the remaining conditions execution. So at that time, if there is any what is that exceptions, or if there is any errors in these the remaining conditions, then it can save. That means it will write skip that error. That's how only it will be useful. It cannot handle all the errors or all the exceptions in the arithmetic expression or in the condition. It cannot handle like that. Okay, we need to handle if there is any exception in our program, so we need to handle that separately. That we'll discuss later. Okay, yeah. So this is what about a simple if conditions, guys. Now let me show you the another part of another type of if condition. It is simple if, what we have seen now. The second if statement is if else, if else statement, if else statement. Yeah, if else. Yeah, if else statement. See, what is the syntax of if else? See, now in the simple if statement, we are executing only one block, only one block of steps, one group of steps. That is pass. That means if the condition is passed, then I want to execute one group of steps. Only those steps can be defined inside simple if statement. Suppose if you want to run another group of steps, if condition fails, if the condition fails, then I want to execute another set of steps. If the condition pass, I want to execute one group of steps, and if the condition fails, then I want to execute another set of another set of steps. So in that case, we should use this in this scenario. Whenever you want to execute two group of steps, one group should be executed if the condition is passed. Another group should be executed if the condition fails. So in this scenario, this if else should be used. So the syntax of this is same. If condition, open braces and fail, close braces. And here what step should be executed? Pass steps, pass block. Okay. If the condition is passed, then these are the steps will be executed. Else, else, again open braces, and here fail steps, fail steps we have to define here. So like this, so it is actually small letter, not capital letter. I and E both are small letters. Okay, so this is the if else syntax. if say condition is only one, okay, so inside if statement only we can define conditions. We cannot define a condition in the else statement directly. Okay, if this condition is passed, then it executes this block. If this condition is failed, then control will be coming to this block, to the else block. So the else block will be executed if the condition is failed, and if block will be executed if the condition is passed. That's how the if else statement will be working. So let me do a small change in our program to see that if else example. So let us print the x is even or odd. Here we are printing only even. I want to print both, whether it is even number or odd number, whatever. If it is even or odd, whatever it is, I want to print it. Print x is even or odd number, even or odd number. Yeah. How we can define that? If y is equal to 0, then I want to print that system dot out dot print line x is equal to even number. X is even number. Else, that means if this condition is failed, then I can define else. If this condition fails, then I want to run this else part, else block. So inside else, we can define else step, else block steps. So it is x is odd number. X is odd number. Done. Since I have not defined, why I have not defined curly braces? Because here I am defining only one statement inside if block and inside else block. So that's why I have not defined any braces. If you want to define more than one step, then we should enclose with curly braces. Okay. So now let me comment this also, not required. I'm commenting it. Now let me run. Now definitely for every number it will execute either this statement or this statement. Okay. Run this. See, x is even number. What is the x value? 12. Suppose if it is 13, it should execute else statement now. Okay. So now it is printing odd number. Okay. So like this we can use if else statements. Yeah, okay guys, so we'll take a break, and Nagaraju and all of you please practice the small program. Okay, then we can take a break, and after 15 minutes I will connect you back. So I request you guys to practice it. You please practice it, okay, immediately after the break or during the break. Please execute this program, and I want you to do this hands-on immediately. Okay, if you have any doubts, let us clarify that. Okay. Guys, I don't bother about even if you take more time, what is that, even our duration increases, no problem. Okay, let us do hands-on, some hands-on at least in our session also. It is very important. Yeah, please practice that, and then I will connect you back at 8:05. Okay. Okay guys, so let us continue. We are discussing about if statement. We discussed till now two types of if statements. One is simple if condition, and the second type of if statement is if else. In if else we can execute two groups of statements. One group will be executed when condition is passed, that is called a if group, and else group will be, or else block will be executed when condition is failed. Okay, and we have another type of if condition, so that is called nested if. nested if, nested if statement. So what is this nested if statement syntax is? The nested if can be is defined like this: if condition 1, condition 1. See, in this if state, simple if statement, and in if else statement, we can define, or we can execute, or we can verify multiple conditions at a time. Okay, that means we are executing or we are verifying more than one condition at a time, and based on all conditions status, we take the decision whether to execute if black or to execute else black. That's how in the simple if and if else statements we are executing multiple conditions at a time. Okay, but in the nested if statement, when we can use nested if statement, see, I want to execute multiple conditions one by one, not at a time, continuously. I want to execute multiple conditions one by one. That means if condition 1 is passed, then I have to execute condition 2. Again, if condition 2 is passed, then I want to execute condition 3. That means based on the previous condition, the next condition will be executed in the nested if statement. So in the normal if, that means in the simple if or in if else statements, we can execute multiple conditions, but how these multiple conditions will be executed? All conditions will be executed in a sequence continuously, one by one, without any dependency. Is it right? That means what I mean, see here, if I define here two conditions, first it will execute, next it will execute. Like this, you can define n number of conditions. So all conditions will be executed continuously in sequential. There is no dependency. That means the second condition will be executed only this first condition is passed. So that kind of any dependency is not there here. All conditions will be executed continuously in sequential. Got it? But the nested if statement should be used if you want to execute multiple conditions and these conditions are dependent on each other. In this scenario, you have to use this nested if. See, for example, now I will give you some more realistic example. Suppose I have okay, nested if, right? I'm talking about. We have one more also, one more type before nested if. I want to discuss that. I missed that. What is that next? Another one is else if. Else if. Else if is also one important useful statement. Let us see this first, when it will be useful. Let me explain you with one example. The example is here, this one. Else if, okay, that is a statement type, and with the example display or print, I can say print. One second guys, I'm getting one call. Hello. Yeah, Kanshma. చెప్పు అమ్మ నేను వేరే మీటింగ్ లో ఉన్నాను చెప్పు. అవును మీటింగ్ లో ఉన్నానమ్మా చెప్పు. చేసేలే మా ఫోన్ మళ్ళీ మాట్లాడుతాను నేను పెట్టు 10 గంటలకు ఫోన్ చేస్తాను బాయ్. Yeah. Okay guys, so now I want to print the marks grade. Okay, what is the grade of the given marks? I want to print this. Suppose if I enter a 50, the grade should be printed. The corresponding grade should be printed as follows. Like this, I want to print marks grade. If marks is 90 to 100, 90 to 100 in this range, then the grade should be A grade. Okay, it is A grade. And if it is less than 80 to 90, 80 to 90, 89, 80 to 89, not 90, 80 to 89, then it is B grade. And similarly, 70 to 79, to 79, it is C grade. And 60 to 69, it is D grade. 50 to 59, E grade. So these are the grades we have defined. As per these grades, for the given marks, what is the grade should be printed. That is my simple problem, and I want to write a program for this uh, small problem. So now let us see that how we can use here else if statement. Else if statement can be used here, right, to print the marks grade. How it can be used? So that first condition, if let us define marks integer, marks is equal to, if it is 52, if it is 52 is the value I have assigned. So for this value, what is the grade? How this program can check that these marks to which grade this marks belongs to. So how we can check that? We can have to define different conditions, multiple conditions. We have to execute one by one after one. See, like this: if marks less than, sorry, we have to come from the beginning. Is it right? If the marks greater than 90, then what is the grade? Greater than or equal to 90. Okay, or equal to 90, or equal to, marks can be 90 also, 90 to 100, that is the range we defined for A grade. Okay, so we have to print the marks grade is A. So right here, system dot out dot print line marks grade is A. We can print in one line, marks grade is A. Suppose if this condition fails, then I want to check the second condition. What is that? Marks is between 80 and 89. So now I am defining here else. Okay, and if again condition marks greater than or equal to 80, or equal to 80, then I want to print grade is B. Marks grade is B. Okay, again else if marks greater than or equal to 70. So I can copy because same statements will be repeated again and again. So I'm copying these statements and paste it here. Okay. So here it is 70, greater than 70. Then what is the grade should be C. Now similarly, again paste, it is marks greater than or equal to 60. It is D grade. Is equal to 50, grade E. Else that means if all these conditions are not passed, then I want to print system dot out dot print line grade is fail. Now say this program, how we are defining here if conditions by using else if. Else if is not a single word. It is two words. It is a combination of two words. Okay, else space if, like this we should write. Okay, see how it executes these conditions now. First it executes this condition, condition 1. If this condition is passed, then it will execute this statement. After that, where control will go, where it will go after that, after executing the statement. For example, if this marks value is equal to 96, is my marks value 96. Now this condition itself is passed here, correct? Once this condition is passed, then it executes this statement. Fine. After that, where control will go? Any idea? Where control will go after running this statement? Now, if marks is equal to 96, then first condition itself is passed now, so that it executes this grade A statement and it will print that value. After that, where control will go? Which statement it will execute next after that? Yeah, it will come out. It will come out from this entire if statements block. This whole if statements block, it will come out. So it won't execute this condition or this condition or this condition anymore. Whenever any condition is satisfied, that's it. That if condition execution will be over. It will come out of that if condition block. See, when this condition will be executed, if this condition is failed, only then it executes else. So inside else, what we are defining? If again. Inside else, again we are defining if condition. One more if condition, second if condition. So if this if condition also fails, only then it executes this if condition. Since this if condition is defined inside this else, so this else is for this particular if. This else is for this particular if. Understand? So inside, if this if condition is passed, it will execute this statement and it will come out. If this if condition is failed, then it will come to this else part, and inside this else part we have defined another if condition, so it executes this if condition. Again, if it is failed, it will come for this if else. This is the else for this particular if condition. So inside this if, there is another. No, not required. See, whenever, see, I am checking here, whether marks value is greater than or equal to 90, first condition. No, suppose my marks is 45. My marks value is 45. Now let us see how it works. Now this condition failed, correct? So now we are checking this condition now. It will execute this condition. If marks is greater than 80, no, again failed. So it executes this condition. Is marks greater than or equal to 70? No. Again it will execute this condition now. Next. Is marks still not greater than or equal to 60? So again it is failed. So it executes the next condition. Is marks greater than or equal to 50? No. Again this condition also failed. That means all these conditions are failed. Then if this last condition also fails, then it will come to this else part. For this if condition, this is the else part. So inside this else part, what I am trying printing, if the marks is not greater than or equal to 50, then I want to print fail grade. Got it? So any marks which is not greater than or equal to 50, for all those marks, I want to print this statement. See, currently marks is 45, so that's why it will execute this statement now. Now let me run this. See, fail is printed. Marks grade is fail. Suppose if I give marks as some 55, 54, now which statement should be executed? This statement should be executed now. That means grade E should be printed now. See, grade E is printed. Okay. So this is else if. See, in this statement, how conditions are executing depends on the previous condition here. Okay, still again, but it is not nested. Nested means, no, it is also one kind of nested. I cannot say it is not a nested. How it is nested, let me show you that how it is nested. See, first this is the condition, correct? See, I will add braces now to for your easy understanding how this else if is a nested conditions. See, I am defining braces. I am closing braces here. This is if condition. If this if condition fails, then it will come to else part. So again open braces. So inside this else, I am defining if condition. So again here braces. So this if condition is closing here. Got it, guys? For this if condition, this is the braces. Now again, if this if condition is failed, it will come here else part. So again this else part begin. So if you define here braces like this, it becomes nested if conditions. Nested if conditions. So, but I don't want to define here braces because I'm using here simply. If I remove braces between else and if, it is simply else if statement. If I define a braces here, it becomes a nested. But still now also it is nested. But here braces is not required. Why it is not required? Inside this else part, how many statements I am defining? I am defining only one if statement. Inside this if statement, all these statements will come. All these statements are coming inside this if statement. But inside this if statement, how many statements are there? There is only one if statement, but inside that again we have multiple statements. Understand, guys? So if you remove this even single braces, it won't show any error. Say I can define only for if conditions alone braces, brackets like this. It is fine. See that I'm defining here only for if conditions alone, not for else. That's all. See, it is a else if. Else if, okay. It is not purely nested. Nested means, I will show you. See that nested conditions means when it becomes nested, if if I define condition 1, I'm giving simple example. See, inside this again I'm defining one more condition 2. Again inside that if I define one more condition, condition 3. So this is a nested. These are the nested if statement. Similarly, you can define multiple if conditions inside else part as well. Inside else part also we can define multiple nested if statements. Else, again I'm giving brackets. Here I'm defining again another condition. Condition 4, open bracket. So like this we can define. So this is a nested if statement. Nested if statement. Nested if statements. All of you clear this? If conditions, how to use if statements. We can use if statement in different ways. The first one we have seen, simple if statement. So this is simple if statement. Simple if statement with one condition, and it is simple if statement with more than one condition. So if you are defining multiple conditions, then those conditions should be combined with some logical operator, either and or exclusive or shortcut or short circuit and or short circuit or like that. Okay, so these operators should be used to combine more than one condition in the if statement. And the second simple second format of if statement we have seen if else. If else. So here we can execute two set of we can execute, right, one set of statements can be executed if the condition is passed, and we can define another set of statements to execute if the condition fails. So like that we have here two blocks, if block and else block. So if block will be executed always if condition pass, and the else block will be executed always if condition fails. So that is if else. Another type of if statement we have seen else if. Else if. So this else if this format of else if generally will be used to execute multiple conditions. First check first condition 1. If it fails, execute second condition. Again if it fails, execute third condition. If it fails, again execute fourth condition. Like this we can execute multiple conditions if the previous condition is failed. So like this you can execute continuously many conditions. So in that scenario we can use this else if. And we have nested if. Nested if means we can define if condition in another if condition, inside another if condition, or inside another else condition. So like that we can define multiple nested if conditions inside one if condition. So this is called nested if condition. So generally these nested if conditions should not be used. It is not preferred one, because it will make more complex. It will increase your code complexity. If you use more nested if conditions in the program, it will increase your programming complexity. Okay, so that's why it's not advisable to use nested if conditions, many nested if conditions. Okay, so any doubts guys in the if statements? Shall I go to the next conditional statement? I will define all these statements in separate method. See, it is a main method. Okay, so inside this class now I'm going to define one more method, public static void, because we will be calling this method inside main method, so that's why it should be defined as static void if conditions. If conditions, that is my method name, and inside that I'm defining where. Now I can call this method inside this main method. So this is the calling statement. Simply I'm calling here. What happened? Maybe bracket is missing. It is correct only. What is wrong in this? Create field, creative condition, local variable. Oh, sorry. I should define braces. Since it is a method, how you are calling that method? Just define that method name with braces. Okay. This is the method name. This method I want to execute from main method. So what we are doing? We are calling this method inside main method. How we are calling? Just by defining that method name with parentheses, with braces. That's it. So it will execute this method automatically when you run this program. Okay, let me run it. See that. That it is printing. Okay, guys. So now let us see that the next conditional statement in Java program, that is switch statement. What is a switch statement and what is the syntax of switch statement is? The switch statement syntax format is this one, switch, swit switch, and here you have to define some variable, and then here you have to define case, that case value. What is that case 1? For example, case 1, and then we can define here multiple statements, group of statements. So it is a group 1, or I can say steps 1, steps group, okay, 1, and then similarly case 2, again define here steps group 2. So like this we can define n number of cases. We can define n number of cases, and then finally we have to define default. Again here we can define another set of steps group n, and inside each group, right, we should define one more statement. Break statement should be defined. Break. In every group at the end we should define the statement break. So here it may not be required in the last group, which is default group. It may not be required, but still you can define that. Okay. So this is the syntax of switch statement. See what it is doing. See how it executes, right? How it executes these steps. See how it executes. If this variable, it is just a variable, any variable with some value of type. This variable can be either, see here one more note, important note, the variable can be only byte type or short type or integer type or character type. Only these are the variables can be used in the switch statement here. This variable type should be any one of these: byte, short, integer or character. That's all. You can't use any other type of variables in the switch statement. Okay, see how it executes. If this variable value is equal to 1, then it executes this group and it will come out from this switch block. Suppose if this variable value is not equal to 1, that means if this condition is failed, then it verifies this variable value with 2. If this variable value is equal to 2, then it executes this group and it will come out. Break is statement we are using to fit that switch block, to exit that switch block statement. So this break statement will stop the execution of switch statement and it will come out from that switch statement. If you don't define break statement, what will happen? Suppose if this variable value is matching with case 1, that means it will execute these steps. Suppose if you don't write this break statement, after finishing this block execution, it will continue to execute this case 2 block also. Again, suppose here also if you don't define break statement, again it will continue the next block steps. Like that, it will keep continue to execute all the steps in all the blocks if you don't define break statement. So that's why it is very important to define break statement inside every block to stop that switch statement execution. Okay, got it guys? Suppose if this variable value is not matching with any of these case values, either 1, 2 or 3 or like that, that means this variable value is not matching with all the case values whatever we define here inside the switch statement. In that case, this variable it executes finally default block. When it executes finally, if this variable value is not matching with any of these case values, then it executes finally default block. So can you tell me that this switch statement is very similar to one type of if statement? Now we have discussed, right, different types of if statements. So this switch statement execution flow is the same as one type of if statement that we have seen now. How many if statements we have seen? Simple if else, else if, and nested. So there are 4 different types of if statements we have seen. If you observe, this switch statement execution flow is same as one type of if statement. What is that? Any idea? Which the switch statement is similar to one type of if statement. Which is that? Which if statement it is? Simple if else, else if, and nested if. Yes, exactly. You're right, Nagaraj. It is else if. The logic of execution logic, how switch statement executes that conditions, and how else if statement executes the conditions, both the logics are same. The switch statement and the else if statement, in these two statements, the conditions will be executed only if the previous condition is failed. Got it? See, if this variable is not equal to 1, then it will check with this value. Suppose if this variable value is not equal to 2, then only it will check with the next case. Similarly, in the else if also, if condition 1 fails, then it executes condition 2. If it also fails, then it executes condition 3. Got it? So both the statements execution flow is very similar. So the switch statement is very good alternative to replace else if statements in your program. Always it is a good practice to use switch statement wherever possible to replace if conditions in the program. Always better to use switch statement rather than using if conditions. So this is the best practice always. Okay guys, now let us see the same example whatever we have seen with else if example by using switch statement, how to execute the same. So this is else if example, right? We have seen that this is the else if example. So how we can execute same logic, same conditions by using switch statement. Guys, this logic cannot be used. Same problem cannot be defined by using switch statement, because Here we are using less than, greater than conditions. But inside switch statement, we can use only equal, mostly only equal condition, not less than, greater than conditions like that. Okay. See, for example, I will give you another example for switch statement. Say I'm going to define another method to see this switch statement example. Public static void switch program. Okay. See what is this example is print weekday name. I want to print the weekday name. If I give number, weekday number, it should print the weekday name. Okay. See how I can define that. So I will define one integer day number is equal to, suppose if I give 2, then what is the day name? Suppose my weekday starts with Monday. So Monday is 1, Tuesday is 2, like that it will go. Then it should print my Tuesday. Is it right? So 2 is integer. So what type of variable can be used in the switch statement? Byte, short, integer, and character. Only these 4 types of variables can be used in a switch statement. So here I have defined a day variable as integer, so it can be used in the switch statement. So switch. So let me define as a variable day. Yes. I'm also forgetting the switch statement syntax. Okay, braces only. Okay. So I have to use braces, okay, as a beginning of the switch statement. It is important. We have to define beginning of the switch statement and end of the switch statement should be defined by using curly braces like this. So it is the beginning and the end. This is capital. It is not. It's not important. Switch. Okay. Now let us define case. So here I am defining case 1. If it is case 1 and I want to print simply only 2 statements I have to define here. So I should define close and begin again for this case. System.out.println. It is a Monday. And after that I have to define break. Break should be defined. What is required? Something wrong. It is required, no? Okay. Because here inside case, so we don't have any, no need braces. Expression also should be inside braces. So like if condition, this switch statement variable also should be defined inside braces. That's why then only it is not showing any error. Okay. So now if this day value is equal to 1, then it executes these two statements and it will stop the switch statement execution since we have defined here break statement. If you don't define break statement, it will continue next case, case 2. Case 2, again print here, Control C, it is Tuesday. Tuesday. So next again case 3, Wednesday. Case 4, Thursday. Case 5, Friday. Case 6, Saturday. Case 7, Sunday. Okay, so like this. Or if I define default, one more default option, why you need default here? The value can be other than 1 to 7 sometimes. So in that case, I want to print wrong day number, invalid day number, invalid day number. That message I want to print. That means if this day variable value is not equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then I want to print this message. Got it? So like this, you can use this switch statement, say switch and that variable or expression. This can be either expression or variable, anything we can use, not only variable, we can also use that expression as well. But that expression output should be either byte, short, integer or character type. Okay, and that expression or variable can be defined, should be defined within that braces, then open bracket, that means beginning of the switch statement, and here we should define end of the switch statement, closing curly braces, and then inside that block we should define cases, case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and finally default case. So this default case will be executed if all the above cases are not matching with this expression or variable value, then it executes the default case block. Okay, now let me call this method inside main method. Here I'm calling this braces and I will comment if condition. I don't want run this if condition, so I don't want to execute this, so I'm commenting this calling statement. So here we are calling switch program method. Now run this. It should print Tuesday because we are passing day number as 2. Suppose if I pass day number as 7, it should print Sunday. Sunday. Suppose if I pass day number as 9, it should print invalid day number. Invalid day number. Invalid day number. Got it? So like this, we can use switch statement in the Java program. Any questions, guys? Any doubts? Okay, good. So these are all conditional statements in Java. So we discussed two types of conditional statements. One is if statement, second one is switch statement. Both are very, very important. Okay, because in any Java program we will be using these two statements very frequently. if statements. Again, in the if statement, we have seen that 4 types of if statements: simple if else, else if, and nested if. Okay, these are the 4 types of if statements we have seen. And the switch statement also one type of if statement we can say, that is equal to, it is similar to else if type if statement, switch statement. Okay, yeah. Now let us see the next set of control statements. So we discussed that control statements are 2 types. One is conditional statements, second type is loops. So these loop statements are very important. Loop statements, okay, statements are very important in the program, because sometimes in your program you may have to execute some set of steps multiple times, more than once. It may be it is based on some condition, or you may want to execute some set of steps n number of times without any condition. I want to run some steps in the program 10 times. I don't have any condition here. Without any condition, I want to run this group of steps 10 times. Or sometimes you may have to execute some steps based on some condition. Understand? Based on some condition, I want to keep run those steps again and again until I reach some condition. Until I reach some condition to satisfy. So this is the scenario where right, you may need to use these loop statements. Where we are using conditional statements, wherever you want to execute some condition, wherever you have to verify some condition, and based on that condition status, you may have to execute one group of steps, either passed group or else group or if group. There are 2 groups we can use in the if statement: if block and else block. If block will be executed if the condition is passed, and else block will be executed if the condition fails. Is it right? So in that situation, that means if you want to verify some condition, and based on that condition status, you have to execute one block of or one group of steps. So that is that in that scenario we are using conditional statements. That means here how many times we are running that group? Only once. We are running either if block or else block only once, not more than once. But there might be certain situation where you need to execute some group of one group of steps more than once. Okay, so in that situation you should use these loop statements. So again, loop statements are we have different types of loop statements in Java. Loop statements, loop control statements. Okay, I can say loop control statements. So these loop control statements controls that number of iterations, how many times this group of steps should be executed, either once or twice or thrice, or until some condition satisfies. So like that, it controls that number of iterations, how many times this group should be executed will be controlled by using loop control statements. So let us see that simple loop statement. First loop, while loop, while, just while some condition we have to define inside brackets condition. If this as long as this condition is passed, I want to keep running this while block. Inside here we can define while block. That means a group of steps. Inside these braces you can define multiple steps. So all these steps will be executed, keep executed as long as this condition is true. Whenever this condition is false, then it stops that while loop execution. Understand? That means first it will check this condition. If this condition is true, then run these steps. After finishing this steps execution, again it will check this condition. Again it is true. Again run second time. these steps. So like this, after finishing steps execution, it will keep verifying this condition, and it will be keep running these steps again and again until this condition is failed. Suppose if this condition is passed 100 times, yes, it will execute 100 times. If this condition is passed only one time, so these steps will be executed only once. So that depends upon this condition. How many times this condition is true, that many times that step should be executed inside that while block. Understand? That is while loop. Let us see one example with while. Now I want to create a new class. Create a new class, loops, examples, loops. Okay. With the main method, select this public static void checkbox, main method checkbox, finish it. So it is created. So my first loop is while loop. Okay, while. Let us see while. My example here, I want to print, for example, I want to print, let's take simple, I want to print all even numbers up to 10. Print all even numbers up to 10. Up to 10. That is what my example. So how I can write this statement? How I can write a small program for this? See that first let us set one variable, because I have to display the number values, right? So to get that number, I'm to assign that number value, we need one variable. So I'm defining one variable, integer n is equal to, what is my first starting number? 1 is 1. N is equal to 1, starting with 1. Or I can make it more simple. Let us start with the first even number, 2. I'm starting with first even number 2. Starting from 2, I want to print up to 10, all even numbers. How we can do that? So I'm going to use here loop statement, while loop, while. What is my condition? N less than or equal to 10. That is my condition. If n value is less than or equal to 10, up to 10 only I want to print. So that's why I'm using here condition as n value should be either less or equal to 10. Okay, but not greater than 10. So that is my condition, and define braces to define while block. Inside while condition, while loop, I want to execute a few steps. What are those 2 steps? First I want to print that n number. So system dot out dot print line, I'm printing just n number is printed. After printing n, what is the next n value? What should be the next n value? The next even number. How to get the next even number? N is equal to n plus 2. So this statement will give the next even number in this n. That means it assigns the next even number to this n variable. Is it right? We can get the next even number by adding 2 to the current number. So I'm getting here the next even number. So it will execute these 2 steps. After that, again it will check this condition. What is n value now? 2 plus 2, 4. So still n is less than or equal to 10. So again it will run these 2 steps. Now n value becomes 6. So like this while loop will keep executed until this condition fails. When this condition will fail? Whenever n value reaches 12, then this condition fails, and then it stops that while loop. That means the control will come outside of this while loop here. There is no statement to execute, so it will stop the program. Got it? Now let us run this. So once again, let me define this inside a separate method. So I'm defining it separate method as separate method. Control X. Here I'm defining separate method for while loop. Okay. Public static void while loop is my method name, and here I'm defining that code because I want to use a separate method for each loop. That's why I don't want to club all loop examples inside main method itself. So that's why here I have defined separate method for while loop, and I will be calling this method inside main method. That's it. So we are calling here. What is the problem? What is wrong here? Public static void, correct, right? Oh, sorry. I'm using flower brackets here. Normal braces should be defined. Now run this. Now see that it will print 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, sorry, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's all. Those numbers should be printed. See how many times this loop executed now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Suppose if I change this condition to 20, how many times this loop will be executed now? 10 times. Is it right? So the number of iterations of this loop will be changing based on this condition. That means this loop is running as long as this condition is true. Okay, we have not defined any fixed number of iterations here. We have not defined any fixed number of iterations. How many times this condition is true, that many times that loop will be executed. Whenever condition fails, it comes out from that loop execution. Understand? So now let me run this, and it should run 10 times. See, 10 values are printed up to 20. Okay, guess that is about while loop. And now similarly, the next loop is do while. Do the syntax is this one. Steps, close the bracket, while, condition. This is do while syntax. Do while syntax. See, what is the difference between while and do while? In the while loop, when we are checking the condition at the beginning of the loop, and in this do while statement, we are checking the condition at the end of the loop. That is the difference. In the while statement, in the while loop, we execute the condition at the beginning. In the do while loop, the condition will be executed at the end of the loop. At the end of every loop, condition will be executed. Let us see that. How this do while works with the same example. Let me copy this. I'm defining one more method. Let me write public static void do while. Okay, so this example is do while loop. Again, I'm printing same example. I want to print okay. Now here again define integer n is equal to 2 starting number, and I'm defining here two loop statement. What steps I have to print? I have to print first n value as it is, and n is equal to n plus 2. After printing, we have to increment n value by 2 to get the next even number. And here we should define the condition while n less than or equal to 10. Same condition, n less than or equal to 10. Okay, see, you will be getting same output by using this method, by running this method do while. Call this method. do while. Let me comment the first one, while loop. I don't want to run this. I'm commenting this line, while loop. Now run. Say this output, we are getting same output 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Then what is the difference between while and do while? See, when you can see the difference between while and do while, right? I will show you. Let me define same condition here also, 10. See, in the while loop also I'm using same condition, and the do while also I'm using same condition. Okay. Now, if n is equal to 12, if n is equal to 12, okay, if n is equal to 12, now tell me what is the output of while loop method and what is the output of do while method. In both the places n is equal to 12. Just think, guys, think it. See that in the while loop and in do while loop, I have given same logic. Only loop statement is different. Logic is same. Input is same. Only loop statement is different. While and do while I'm using. Only that is a statement only different in these two methods. While loop and do while methods. Now tell me what is the output of while loop method and what is the output of do while method. If I run this program, I will be running both programs now. If I run this, what output we get? Nothing. No. When nothing. No. What is the output of while? First tell me. What is the output of while loop? While loop is nothing. Right. You are right. While loop is nothing. And what is the output of do while? What is the output of do while? The while loop will not print anything. That is the right answer. And what is the output of do while? Do while what it will do? You please check that. No, it won't print 2 to 10 because starting value itself 12, correct? The n is 12. So it cannot print 2 to 10. Is it right? Is it right? What value it will print? Will it print anything or nothing it will print? It prints 12. It prints 12. See that. Let me run. Okay. See that if I run this program, the while method will not print anything. It won't print anything. It print nothing. Okay. But this do while loop method will print 12. Let me check that. See, 12 is printed. The 12 is printed in do while method. Why it is printing do while 12? Simple reason. In the while method, what's happening? The condition is executed at the beginning. That means before running this loop, before running this block, it is checking the condition. So here itself condition is failing, correct? So it will come out immediately. So this block will not be executed at least once. Now if you come to this do while method, what's happening? What is n value? 12. So in this statement, is there any condition? No condition is there in the 22 line, correct? In the line number 22. So it will execute this block first. So it will print a 12 and it will increment n value by 2. So n value becomes 14. After that, it will check this condition. So now condition fails. So it will come out. It won't repeat the block execution. So what we understand here, sometimes the while loop may not be running at all. That means it may be running 0 times, but do while loop definitely will execute at least once. In any situation, the do while loop will be executed at least once. So that is the main difference between while loop and do while loop. Got the point, guys? Yeah. Now come to the next loop statement, important loop statement, for loop. For loop. For loop. For loop. So what is the syntax of this for loop is, say for, we have to put in braces. Inside the braces, we can define uh, three inputs here. The first input is, it is called initialization, and the second input is condition. We have to define some condition here, not comma, we have to use a semicolon. Okay, after initialization, semicolon, after condition, again semicolon, and in the third input it can be incremental or decremental. We can use anything. We can increase that way. See here in the first input, what we are doing, we should initialize some variable. That is what initialization means. We will initialize some variable value here, and then we will check some condition on this variable. If this condition is satisfied, that means passed, then it will execute the for loop. It will execute the for loop. When it will execute the for loop, if the condition is true, after finishing the condition, it will increment that variable, initialized variable value, or it will decrease that variable value. After increasing or decreasing, again it will check the condition. If this condition is true, again it will execute the for loop block steps. Got it? So this is how the for loop should be defined. Now let us see one example with for loop. I'm going to define another method for loop, public static void for loop. Okay, is the method. Here I want to take one example for loop. What example? Let us take same example. I want to print even numbers from 2 to 10. Okay, so how many values are there from 2 to 10? Within 10, how many even numbers are there? So 5 even numbers are there. So I can write here, print first 5 even numbers. First 5 even numbers. That is my problem. I want to print first 5 even numbers starting from 2. So how to do that? By defining a for loop. See, for, open braces and close the braces and open flower brackets. Okay. Now inside this for loop, you can define 3 inputs. What is the first input? Some variable should be initialized with some value, with initial value. So let me define one variable, integer I. See here, I want to use some variable I. This I variable is not already declared anywhere. So that's why I am giving declaration also inside the for loop statement itself. I have to use some variable in the for loop first input. Since this variable I am using first time and it is not already declared, so that's why I am defining declaration as well inside the for loop itself. We can do that. If this variable I is already declared, then this int is not required. If it is already declared somewhere in your program, that means inside this method, then this declaration is not required. I is equal to 2. My first even number is 2, starting with 2. So I have initialized I variable with the starting even number 2. So the first part is done. So what is my condition? I can define the condition in the second input. What is that condition? I should be less than or equal to 2. Sorry, 10. I less than or equal to 10. Is it right? Or I can make it like this also, guys. See, I is equal to 1. How many times I want to run this loop? I want to run this loop up to 5 times. So I can define here I less than or equal to 5. Like this. See, I'm defining. And what is the incrementer every time? I plus plus. I plus plus. I plus plus. It is incrementer. That means I value will be incremented by 1. I plus plus means every time. See what I am defining here inside this for loop, starting from 1 with I variable I want to run this loop 5 times. How I define that 5 times? By using initialization variable and by using some condition and some incrementer. So inside this, or before that, here I have to define one more variable, n is equal to 2. My starting variable, even number, n is equal to 2. So now I will print that system.out.println n. After that, I have to increment that value by 2 to get next even number. Is it right? See, this is my logic. See, these two statements will be executed how many times? 5 times. Why it will execute 5 times? So in such a way I defined here. See, for I equal to 1, starting from 1 up to 5, I less than or equal to 5, and every time I value will be incremented by 1. So this I value, first time I value should be 1. See, first time when you run this loop, I value should be 1. So this condition is passed. So it will execute these two statements. Again, second time I value, before running second time, I value will be incremented by 1. So it becomes 2. So then it will check this condition. Again, the condition is true. So it will execute these two statements. Now again, it will increment I value by 1, 3. So still condition is true. So again, it executes for loop block. So like this loop will be executed with I values 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. For these I values, this loop will be executed 5 times. Got it, guys? Now let us run this for loop. I will comment, let me comment these two statements. Okay, I'm running only for loop method and it should print 1 to 2 to 10 even number. Suppose if I give here 10, it will print 2 to 20 even numbers. Got it? Suppose if you want to get odd numbers, all odd numbers, what to do? By using the same program method, I want to print odd numbers. Then what change I have to do in this program? Can you guess? I want to print all odd numbers. What I have to do? What change you have to do in this small method? Any guess? Yes, exactly. I have to make this n value 1. That's all. See, now it will print all odd numbers up to 20. See, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. So if n value is 2, it will print all even numbers. If n value is 1, it will print all odd numbers. Got it? So this is the for loop, simple for loop. Okay. So in this for loop, the first input and the third input are optional. It is not mandatory. In every for loop, it is not required to define these two values. What are those two values? Initialization and incrementer or decrementer. Okay, let us see one example with a decrementer first. Okay, this is with incrementer, correct? Now I will show you with the decrementer. I will comment these lines. See, I'm going to use the same for loop for integer I is equal to 5. See, I'm starting with 5, not with 1. I'm starting with 5. So what is my condition now? Condition will change. If I greater than or equal to 0, I minus minus. See that. Got it, guys? What I'm doing? See, I'm changing just simply for loop. Again, I will be getting same output. Say that. Now n is equal to 2. If I run this, it will print 2 to 10 even numbers. See that? 2 to 10. So 2 to 12 printed. Okay, maybe 0 I have given. It should be greater than. See, 2 to 10 is printed. See, here I'm using I is equal to maximum value, and the condition I'm using I value should be greater than 0. And see, every time I value should come down. First time I is equal to 5 here. First time when I run this for loop, I is equal to 5. So next time it should be 4, next time 3, next time 2, next time 1, and next time 0. If it is 0, then this condition fails. So whenever condition fails, it stops the execution. Got it? So that's how this loop will be executed. Now let us say that I told you that this first input and the third input are optional, right? Let us say that without these two inputs, how to define same logic, same how to execute that same thing. See here, what I will do, I will declare this I variable outside. int I is equal to 5. Let me define same logic, or let us go with the first logic. I is equal to 1. Okay, so now I will remove this. It is not required because I have declared one variable outside of for loop, and I will decrease this I value inside the block. At the end of the block, I will decrement that value I minus minus minus. Let us use a full statement, otherwise I is equal to I minus 1. I is equal to I minus 1. I am decrementing I value here. See this? See, in this for loop, I am defining only condition. See, condition is mandatory in the for loop. You can ignore first and the third arguments, inputs, not a problem. But second input, condition should be defined. Okay. See, now also you will be getting same output. Okay, only 2 is coming. Sorry guys, I have to give plus, not minus. Plus I is equal to I plus 1 because I is starting with 1. Okay. And this condition should have to define. One second guys. Yeah, see here I is equal to 1 I have defined, and so condition also should be changed. Okay, I what is the condition? Less than or equal to 5 is my condition, and now I am incrementing I value by 1 inside the for loop. Now if I run this, it should display 2 to 10. See, 2 to 10. Okay, see it, we are defining, we are initializing the variable, and also we are incrementing the variable, but not inside the for loop statement, outside of the for loop statement. Got it? So here we are initializing, and here we are increasing that variable value. Okay, now this variable is a normal variable, but this variable is controlling this for loop execution indirectly. Got it? So like this also we can define for loop. See, we can also define another format. See, for example, let me define here for. See, I is already declared there, I value. I am going to declare one more variable j. J is equal to 5. See, I is equal to 1, j is equal to 5. I have declared two variables here. Okay guys, see I is equal to 1, j is equal to 5. Now see, I will define my for loop like this. I Okay, let us initialize inside the for loop. I will remove the initialization. Only declaration I am doing here outside, and I will initialize here itself. I is equal to 1, comma, j is equal to 10. See this guys, I am initializing two variables in the for loop. Like this also we can define. And now my condition is I less than j. As long as I value is less than j, I won't run this for loop. And now what is the incrementer? I plus plus, comma, j minus minus. See, just say this, it is something little interesting. See, I is equal to 1, j is equal to 10. I have initialized two variables in my for loop. And what is my condition? As long as this I value less than j, I want to run this for loop. And how I'm incrementing and decrementing the variables? I value will be incremented every time, and the j value will be decremented every time by 1. So now let me print system dot out dot print line. Say I am printing I plus j. I am printing this I plus j value. Let us say that how many times this loop will be executed now. How many times this loop will be executed? Okay, it needs some, what is that? It needs some calculation. Let me run this. See that. See, it is printing 5 times. That means loop is running 5 times. So like this also, just I am showing you an example how to use multiple variables inside the for loop, in the initialization and inside incrementer and decrementer. Like this also we can define for loops in the Java program. Okay. Yeah. Okay guys, that's it for today's session. We will stop it here. And today we discovered all control statements. That's what today we discussed. We completed control statements discussion. You have any queries guys? Any questions? Guys, I will share you these sample programs, whatever I have shown you here in the document. So I request you all, please practice these programs at least once. So that is very important. If you practice it, only then you will be getting confident on using all these control statements, how to use all these control statements in the Java programs. So practicing is at least once is very important. Okay. So please ask me if you have any questions or any doubts. If you don't have any doubts, then we can wind up this session for today and we will join tomorrow. So guys, now are you able to follow me now these programming concepts? Now how you feel that? Is it easy? That means are you able to understand that easily, all these programming concepts like control statements? See, in going forward, right, maybe I may be giving you some little more complex programming examples. So it is very important, right, how to understand that how we are writing the program. Okay, how we are thinking, how we are reasoning the problem. Say we are writing a program for some problem, right, for some problem statement. So how we are trying to solve that problem statement by writing a program. So that is what we have to understand. And how we are implementing that logic, that problem statement solution logic in the program. So that you should try to understand. Okay, maybe these are all simple programs what we have seen in today's session. Maybe tomorrow session I will try with some more little complex programs. And also I want you also to try somewhat little complex programs, not with the simply simple programs. You should practice with little complex programs. Okay, then you feel that the Selenium scripting is nothing. It is very simple. It will become very simple if you try to, if you are able to understand complex program logic, and if you are able to write a solution for some complex problem statements in Java program, then definitely write Selenium is nothing. It is very simple. These programming logics and programming writing is complex, is difficult than Selenium programming. Selenium programming is very easy, really. This Java program was little difficult. If you understand this Java program easily, then Selenium program will be nothing for you. It will be easily understood and you can easily create Selenium scripts programs. Okay? Yeah. Okay guys, thank you, and let us join tomorrow by tomorrow 6 o'clock. Okay, we will join by tomorrow 6 o'clock. Thank you guys, bye.